welcome to NFL Fantasy League One presented by Sad Trombone. Anyways, Ricky Hollywood right here to my right. You just met Graham Barfield, and we are pleased to introduce making his debut tonight, Mike Florio. Welcome to Fantasy League One.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
For anybody who's followed the NFL fantasy product for any amount of time at all knows that Mike Florio is our lead researcher, maven of the stars, somebody that we rely on each and every week, so we appreciate having you.
How do
here.
you do that? I mean, I'll Slack Mike and I'll be like, I need to know why so-and-so did this in the rain from 1991, and you're like, oh yeah, real quick, and then you do you have just like
it's just
big book?
You do it all day. It's just
He has a computer in the back of his brain. He's
That's
just
what
constantly.
it is. He's actually a side boy.
Yeah,
he's our robot.
I wasn't gonna let them know.
Just to let everybody know, yeah, Boston Electronics or whoever that stupid company is that's making those Terminator dogs or whatever they do. But you also write some columns too for us.
Yes, I write the slot report and targets and touches each and every week.
And you're in the player stories. I see you doing the
guys are
fantasy PSAs, man.
Talking me
You're
up
in there.
so much.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you guys.
Okay, get out. No, I'm kidding. Let's take a look at the Fantasy League One standings right now as we head into this pivotal Monday night game. Or excuse me, this is the scoreboard, of course. FaZe Clan on the cusp of being the high scorers once again this week. TaylorMade knocked off MG. Graham Barfield. Oh, look who knocked off the fantasy
Are you done?
footballers.
It's over?
It's over. That's a wrap.
That's a
2-point
final.
win. 2-point win, baby. I know.
That's a final,
I
of
know.
course. You know, Ricky and I are going, like we got a little bit.
We're going head to head here. I'm beating Rank by about 30 points, but he has Lamar Jackson, the Ravens defense, and Cooper Kupp tonight.
But it could have been better for you, except for one.
Oh yeah, I made a couple things. Here's a tweet I sent. I watched the Colts game last week and was like, Jonathan Williams, like he's getting a ton of touches. Like I'm just feeling like my gut. He was really, really low, like not really owned by a lot of people. And I was like, oh yeah, like look at me studying everything. I'm going to pick him up. And I get him. And then looking at it, it's like, oh, he's only projected like 4-point-something points. And I was like, yeah, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about after all. And I put him on my bench along with Will Fuller and Tyler Boyd.
All right. Well, Tyler Boyd seems reasonable.
Yeah, but it was like 19.
Will Fuller
points.
too seems reasonable, but you got to trust your gut, Ricky. You know what you're doing.
I
You got it.
You got this. You got this. Anyways, let's talk about
Do I?
our. You do. You do. Anyways, let's talk about one of our favorite subjects, or favorite segments, I should say, that we do on the show. It's called Gobble Gobble.
Oh, favorite.
These are players who ate on Sunday. We
Is it
love
Thanksgiving
doing
week
this.
every week now?
Listen, we love doing this segment each and every week. It's called Gobble Gobble. Everybody, they write in when I'm stopped. I'll be over at like Panda Express or something. But like, hey, you guys doing Gobble Gobble this week? Wait a minute. Am I not allowed to say brand names on this show too? I'm apologizing right now. Sorry about that. Okay, I apologize for saying Panda Express. I won't do it again. But Graham, who's your Gobble Gobble this week?
My Gobble Gobble is George Kittle, man. I mean, how could it not be? Dude literally played last night on a broken ankle. And still went nuts. 6 for 129 and a score, including this gorgeous play-action play that they hit here on a big crosser. George Kittle, I mean, he missed 2 games, but it just doesn't matter. I mean, like he's just been the Niners' clear-cut #1 target this year. He leads all receivers, like not even just like wide receivers, tight ends and running backs in yards per route run this year, like by a mile over Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, to name a few. Kittle has kind of emerged, I think, as the #1. I think maybe almost #1 offensive player, like just off of pure explosive ability. He's a great run blocker, and he's been
For the 49ers.
in the league.
In the league.
One of the top 3 players, absolutely.
Listen.
Yeah.
Spicy. Speaking of spicy, Ricky, your Gobble Gobble was a player you just mentioned a moment ago on your bench.
Yeah, Will Fuller. He did really well, and it was really painful to watch. But the amount of stuff that he does and makes Deshaun Watson do. Deshaun Watson plays so much better when he's out there.
Yes.
And, there was a lot of injury talk. Everyone's like, as soon as you expect Will Fuller to play like this, he gets an injury, he's out, he's not used. But when it's split between him and DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, it's like, I'm going to do it next week. I'm not going to follow the stats.
Yeah, don't listen to anybody. And
Yeah.
this was somebody who was on my roster a couple of weeks ago too, but I had to make some room.
Yeah, well,
One
it doesn't
more
matter
rank
because I
humble
didn't
brag.
play him anyway. So.
I dropped him in a league myself.
I mean,
Painful.
like, it was so rough. But one player I think you won't be dropping there, Mr. Florio, is Christian McCaffrey.
No way. And Graham, George Kittle is awesome, but I would take Christian McCaffrey over George Kittle any day of the week. I think Christian McCaffrey should be in the MVP discussion. It's not his fault. His kicker can't make field goals, but he has scored 20-plus fantasy points in 9 straight games, and he is 30 or more in 6 of his 11 games. And not only is he doing off the charts the best fantasy player in the league this year, but he is the 3rd most fantasy points through 11 games all time. The only 2 with more are LaDainian Tomlinson and Priest Holmes.
Whoa.
So, yeah, while Christian McCaffrey is the #1 player this year, I still think he's going a little bit under the radar of how good his season is.
It is ridiculous. It is like having, and I heard this, somebody said this to me earlier today, it's like having 2 guys on your roster.
Yeah, it's an
because
RB1 and a receiver 1. And combined, it's basically
It's basically
gorgeous.
every week.
You've
And
used gorgeous twice. Once with
Have?
Kittle, and then now just with
listen,
Christian McCaffrey.
if the adjective fits, it fits.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
pointing
you
that
gotta
out.
do. One of the players that I would like to talk about is somebody that Graham told me to bench on Sunday, and that is DJ Moore. I
And
don't know
you
what it
did.
is. I don't know why I listen to Graham
shouldn't.
anymore.
Yeah, you definitely
On
shouldn't
Sunday
listen.
mornings, I always have this conundrum. Should I play DJ Moore or should I play Calvin Ridley? This week I played Calvin Ridley, so of course DJ Moore was out there all gobble, 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 getting all this. You know the thing, coming into this season, I had a list of players that I called my league winners. Lamar Jackson, boom. Cooper Kupp, boom. DJ Moore, boom. David Montgomery. Okay, they're not all gems.
Womp.
Don't judge me. But DJ Moore, and what's most impressive is that he's doing this during his 2nd season in the NFL with a backup quarterback. I know that Kyle Allen's playing okay, but he is still a backup quarterback. And that was Gobble Gobble. And time now for another one of our favorite subjects. It's called That Turkey Got Stuffed. We do this every week. It is one of our subjects.
By the
One of
way,
our
stuffing
segments.
is totally overrated, right?
You're the worst.
I might actually.
I don't-
but-
that's
stuffing
the worst.
in the turkey gets too dry.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you make stuffing,
in
on the,
right.
side,
And-
Stuffing in the turkey is
And
overrated on the
stovetop,
side.
and you can't buy stovetop after, like, once Black Friday hits,
Right.
stovetop's gone.
Yeah,
They
of
don't
course.
sell it in stores anymore, which is an outrage. But who is the turkey that got stuffed?
Man, it was Matt Ryan this past week. I mean, what happened? What happened, guys? I mean,
Meh.
we're playing the Bucks. Matt Ryan's playing the Bucks. It should be a lock for 20-plus fantasy points, right? I mean, he's thrown for over 300 yards in 5 of his 6 previous games against this team, and it just didn't happen. I mean, he threw for over 100 yards in their first quarter. Started to look like he was going to be on pace to have another Matt Ryan-esque game, and they just all fell apart for them. I get it. Julio Jones kind of got hurt in the middle of the game. He's banged up with a shoulder injury, but yeah, Matt Ryan was definitely a stuffed turkey.
I rage dropped him.
Yeah.
I think that was a definite rage drop candidate, and I will not be playing him anymore ever. He's done. I might even have I have a 3-year ban at least. on
Really?
Matt Ryan. Well, his career will be over. I almost might extend it to Julio Jones, but
I know that's been like,
that's been terrible. But what about for you, Ricky? Who was that turkey that got stuffed?
yeah, Cortland Sutton has been my kind of go-to. He's definitely like a low, wide receiver, like -40, but I've been playing him every week because I don't have a ton of volume. And he was shadowed by Tre'Davious White by 22 out of 28 routes that he wrote.
Oh,
the
man.
the Broncos literally only did 46 offensive plays. I mean,
Yeah.
they just
That's not good.
It was the Bills destroyed them.
Yeah.
I just watched the points just not line up, and it was a sickening weekend.
Did you think the app had frozen?
Yeah, it was like,
Hey,
oh, maybe I
this
should
isn't
refresh
uploading.
it. Maybe
Should I not wear this hoodie by you?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That's
Way to come in like hot fire
Sorry.
right there.
Yeah.
Well, what about you though? Who is the turkey who got stuffed?
For me, it's Chris Carson, and I understand he had a tough matchup against the Phillies' tough run defense, but can you use that excuse if his teammate ran all over them?
I was gonna say Rashad
and-
Penny had a nice day against them.
Carson failed to score 10 points, and he fumbled for the 7th time this year, which is a league high amongst running backs. Lost it for the 4th time, also league high amongst running backs. And Pete Carroll has already indicated that Rashad Penny is not simply going to go away. So not only did you get fewer than 10 fantasy points this week, but you're probably going to get less production than you have been going forward because Penny's going to eat into that work.
He caused a fumble yesterday, too, on that exchange between Wilson. I think Wilson got
Yes,
credited for
he
it,
did.
for the stat, but yeah.
I thought that was his second of the day, and I was like, all right, we're never going to see Carson again.
Well, we didn't almost.
Yeah.
Oh, now fumbles matter?
I guess so.
Apparently.
If you have like 1 million.
That was ridiculous. But I got a turkey who got stuffed, and why don't we go to my single? And I'm going to ask you guys not to go to B-roll here for a moment because I got to say something, and I want to speak to the hearts of the Green Bay Packers. And first of all, Aaron Rodgers, bro, you peaked in high school. You're done. Like, what is your deal? And then And then what about Aaron Jones? Like, what's happening with you? You know what? This is what I get. You know what? I don't blame anybody. I blame me. I should have known better than to trust these fraudulent Green Bay Packers. You talk about all these other teams like, oh, the 49ers haven't played anybody. The Packers haven't played anybody. You know what? I'm sick of this. You guys, if you win another game this season, I will be shocked. You're a fraudulent squad. You're not as good as the Vikings. I'm not even sure you're better than the Bears. So go and do your thing out. Roll the B-roll now because I'm sick of watching this. What was happening? Like the whole thing is I thought that Aaron Rodgers' ability to run, I thought he was a good athlete. I thought he was able to run. Does he not do that anymore? Is that now couched? Was he afraid? Were you scared? Didn't want to go out there and mix it up? Aaron Rodgers, this was one of the worst primetime performances I've ever seen from this team.
And it wasn't because the 49ers were just that good. I mean, I really do think they are that good, but Jimmy G is getting better with this team. But it wasn't, it was a romping, but it was also the Packers just sort of like laying down.
They did not show up. But how does Aaron Jones not get one single target? Like he didn't see a single target last night.
Jamal Williams had like 8,
Yeah.
and they played 50% of the snaps
Oh.
each. It's a mess there right now.